The officer pulled me over thinking I'd be an easy target. He quickly found out how wrong he was. I was driving to Target to grab art supplies for my wife when an officer flashed his red and blue lights behind me. I was confused. I was sure I hadn't done anything wrong. Still, I stopped the car near the sidewalk and waited. The officer walked toward my window with a smirk already plastered on his face. I could tell exactly what he was thinking. Clean-shaven, baby-faced, wearing my old college hoodie and shorts, looking like I was 19 at most. The officer thought he'd found an easy target, a punk teenager to help him reach his ticket quota. I was getting profiled. License and registration, he said. I quickly handed it all over. He took a look at my ID and laughed. 34? Yeah, okay, kid. Step out of the vehicle. He pushed me against the car and patted me down, asking again, what school you go to? You're quite the reckless driver. Speeding, failure to signal, and your taillight looks cracked to me. That's 3 violations. Sir, I wasn't speeding, and my taillight was fine this morning, I insisted calmly. You arguing with me? His smirk got wider as he flashed the weapon by his hip. I pressed my lips together. That's what I thought. See you in court, kid. He handed me the ticket and walked back to his cruiser. I sat there looking at the citations. Every single one was completely bogus. Good. I like the challenge. You see, I've been working as a lawyer who specialized in civil rights cases, and this year alone I dealt with 30 profiling cases like this. I knew every single procedure, loophole, technicality that existed in traffic court, and this one, it required a special loophole. You're really going through all this for a traffic ticket? My wife asked when she saw what I'd planned. It's not about the ticket, I told her. She didn't get it, but I'd seen too many kids get railroaded by officers like this one. Kids who couldn't afford lawyers, kids who didn't know their rights. This officer probably pulled this stunt constantly because nobody ever fought back. I filed for continuances, requested delays, pushed the court date back 4 months while I prepared. Then, on the morning of the hearing, I showed up early. The officer walked in looking as smug as the day he pulled me over. He was chatting with another officer about how this would be quick, easy win. Just another reckless kid who thought he could fight a ticket. The bailiff called our case number. I stood up and walked to the defendant table. Dear friends, the officer walked back to his cruiser, and I watched him go, the baseless tickets feeling heavy in my hand. It wasn't just paper, it was a wrong that needed righting. My wife didn't get it, but I knew some fights, no matter how small, had to be fought. For the next several weeks, I treated the case with the same intensity as my most important civil rights lawsuits. I filed for continuances, citing the need for adequate time to prepare complex legal arguments. I requested discovery, demanding the officer's full-duty record for the past 5 years, any body cam footage, which suspiciously malfunctioned, for this stop, and any traffic camera footage from that stretch of road. As expected, many requests were met with resistance, but that was part of the process. I pushed the court date back 4 months using the time to build my fortress. The morning of the hearing, I wore my best tailored suit and shined my shoes. The man in the mirror was a far cry from the college kid who'd been pulled over. It was a silent statement. In the pale, cool light of the courthouse hallway, I saw him, Officer Martin. He was chatting with another uniformed colleague, that same smug grin plastered on his face. Don't worry, I heard him mutter. It is just a punk kid who thinks he knows the law, 5 minutes tops. His colleague chuckled and clapped him on the back. They didn't even notice me walk by, just another civilian with a briefcase. When the bailiff called our case, State versus David Clark, I walked steadily to the defendant's table. Officer Martin strode confidently to the plaintiff's table. He glanced at me, a flicker of confusion in his eyes, a faint recognition he couldn't quite place. The judge, a stern-looking woman with graying hair, reviewed the docket. Mr. Clark, you are representing yourself. I stood. Yes, Your Honor. David Clark, appearing pro se. The judge nodded, then turned to the officer. Officer Martin, please state your reasons for issuing these citations. Officer Martin cleared his throat and launched into his rehearsed spiel, that tone of false regret they must teach at the academy. Your Honor, on the afternoon in question, at approximately 1500 hours, I observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at an estimated 10 miles per HR over the posted limit on Main Street. He failed to signal multiple lane changes, and I observed a distinct crack in his left tail light constituting a safety hazard. Based on these observations, I initiated a traffic stop. He finished, crossing his arms over his chest confidently. The judge looked at me. Mr. Clark? Yes, Your